President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi attended the Christmas Mass at the Nativity of the Christ Cathedral at the new administrative capital. During his speech, President al-Sisi congratulated Pope Theodoros II, Pope of Alexandria and the Patriarch of the Holy Apostolic See of St. Mark on the occasion. The President also congratulated all the Egyptians, urging them to stay united and told them not to be afraid. Earlier, President al-Sisi also congratulated the Egyptian expatriates marking the occasion, wishing them success and wishing Egypt progress and prosperity. Pope Theodoros II, Pope of Alexandria and the Patriarch of the Holy Apostolic See of St. Mark, led the Coptic Orthodox Christmas Mass in the Nativity of Christ Cathedral at the new administrative capital. Earlier, Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli congratulated Pope Theodoros II during his visit to the papal headquarters in Cairo. Speaker of the House of Representatives Hanafi Gibeli also visited the papal headquarters to congratulate Pope Theodoros II on this occasion. Speaker of the Senate Abdul Wahab Abdul Razak also visited the papal headquarters to congratulate Pope Theodoros II on this occasion. Also, the Minister of Interior Mahmoud Tawfiq paid a similar visit to congratulate Pope Theodoros II on the occasion. Minister of Defense General Mohammed Zaki and the Armed Forces Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Osama Askar also paid a similar visit to congratulate Pope Theodoros II on this occasion. The Civil Protection Sector of the Interior Ministry held a celebration marking the Christmas occasion. The Correction and Rehabilitation Center invited the clergies and the bishops to lead the Christmas Mass with the inmates in a way to enjoy the holy occasion. The bishops stressed that they held the service exactly as in cathedrals outside, as the center includes a special place designed as a church for the worshippers to practice the rituals. For their part, the inmates expressed their happiness attending the Mass and thanked the political leadership and the Ministry of Interior for giving them the chance to feel the spiritual atmosphere of the feast. Egypt welcomed the outcomes of last week's meeting between the Libyan leaders in Cairo as an important step towards holding the presidential and the parliamentary elections simultaneously as soon as possible. The details.
In a statement on Saturday, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs said it welcomed the consensus reached by the Libyan sides to refer the draft constitutional document to the two entities for approval with the aim of completing electoral laws and executive measures and unifying state institutions. The ministry cited the UN-sponsored Libyan Constitutional Track Committee that comprises both entities and whose rounds kicked off in the Egyptian capital in April last year as the main track that embodies the will of the Libyan people. It added that the relevant state institutions in Libyan talks full ownership of this track with the aim to establish the framework for reaching a political settlement in future. The ministry praised the role played by the two entities in undertaking their responsibilities and expressed aspiration that they fulfill the rest of the task in the coming period. Speaker of the Libyan House of Representatives Aqila Saleh and head of Libya's Higher Council of State Khalid el-Mishri agreed to draw a roadmap for finalizing the arrangement necessary to complete the Libyan election process. The announcement comes following talks they both held in Cairo on Thursday. The leaders of Libya's two rival legislative chambers also agreed on referring the country's constitutional document to the two entities to be endorsed. The endorsement of the constitutional document, they said, would pave the way for holding elections. In a statement on Saturday, the Foreign Ministry said it welcomed the consensus reached by the Libyan sides to refer the draft constitutional document to the two entities for approval with the aim of completing electoral laws and executive measures and unifying state institutions. The ministry cited the UN-sponsored Libyan Constitutional Track Committee that comprises both entities and whose rounds kicked off in the Egyptian capital in April last year as the main track that embodies the will of the Libyan people. It added that the relevant state institutions in Libya take full ownership of this track with the aim to establish the framework for reaching a political settlement in future. The ministry praised the role played by the two entities in undertaking their responsibilities and expressed aspiration they fulfill the rest of their tasks in the coming period. It also said that Egypt will also support Libya in a way that leads to the exit of all foreign forces and mercenaries from Libyan hands. It will also work towards safeguarding Libya's sovereignty and its people resources in line with the resolutions of the UN Security Council and the outcome of Paris and Berlin tracks. Cairo has hosted 3 rounds of the Constitutional Track Committee. During the last round, which was held in June, Libyan leaders reached a consensus on the constitutional framework to hold elections. Libya has witnessed a political stalemate since it has failed to hold the long-awaited election in December 2021. The country is currently divided between 2 rival governments, one based in Tripoli, led by Abdelhamid Beiba, and the other appointed by the East-based parliament and led by Fathi Bashashka. Beiba was refused to hand over power before holding elections and said last week that his government is ready to hold general elections in 2023. Egypt has repeatedly affirmed that holding elections is the only way to resolve the ongoing crisis in Libya. In a joint press conference following Thursday's talks, al-Mishri said that all Libyan committees have been able to reach a consensus under Egypt's sponsorship on many of the points of the constitutional document. Al-Mishri added that election laws would be jointly drafted by both Libya's House of Representatives and Higher Council of State, and that in case of disagreement, the election laws would be put up for vote in a public referendum. The Foreign Ministry concluded that Egypt will always remain supportive of the choice of the Libyan people and the role of the Libyan institutions in a way that leads to achieving security, stability, and unity in Libya.
Republican favorite